Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a new book shares the stories of Eastern Kentucky healthcare workers as they work through the COVID-19 pandemic. And a Whitley County High School student has some big reasons to celebrate after helping his baseball team make history as well as earning an impressive position for someone his age.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:32 on your Tuesday. I'm Keaton Hall, and Brandon, the sun's starting to come up. Fog's being burned away a little bit. Is that a right way to put it? Burned away?
Well, usually I've heard people say that before. I like to say lift. Because the fog kind of lifts out of the valley.
That's the meteorological way to say it.
Exactly. So yeah, fog lifts out of the valleys there this morning, and we got a few clouds still up there. So we got another kind of a dual issue out there this morning. Let's take a look. London Corbin Airport, you see again trying to get the sun out there. A few little high clouds out there this morning, but the fog's still an issue. You can kind of see it on the right part of your screen. So just keep an eye on that this morning. 50 degrees out there. We've been watching them very closely because they could be the next one to fall. 29.88 on the pressure, which is a drier day. Humidity 96%. Dew point a little bit less than the air temperature. So again, that means it's not humid out there this morning. 46 Irvin, 49 Clintwood, 49 Middlesboro, and we got 50s across the rest of the region. 55 in Harlan and Monticello, the warm spots this morning. Pouring out your breakfast weather wheats there, your frosted weather wheats. Well, once you put them in the bowl, you'll see temperatures in the low 50s right there. Heading upward as we head deeper into the daytime hours, mixing in with a few clouds that we've already seen. So we'll continue to watch that. Rain chances on the way potentially today, tomorrow, and most of this week. We'll talk about it in just a few minutes. Keaton.
Thank you, Brandon. A new book takes a look at the COVID-19 pandemic through the eyes of Appalachian nurses and healthcare workers. I was able to talk with the book's editor about the stories being shared. A new book examines how nurses and doctors in Appalachia made do during the COVID-19 pandemic.
They reopened just at the point where it really hit us. So it was the perfect storm of the worst possible combination.
Dr. Wendy Welch is the editor of Masks, Misinformation, and Making Do. She compiled stories from healthcare workers in Appalachia.
I was watching both the misinformation streams that were harming people that I love and that I know and that I work and advocate for in my daily life. But I was also watching the harm that was coming to the healthcare workers.
Dr. Welch says the region was slow to respond to the pandemic in part due to a lack of healthcare options.
I think rural, as a large group painted with a broad brush, no longer wants to hear that we are the problem. We have not been addressed with respect and dignity.
How are they going to get the vaccine? If there's no healthcare provider in the area, what are they going to do?
Beth O'Connor, who contributed to the book, says more should be done to bring workers to the region.
You know, if you're coming out of medical school with a huge debt for student loans and everything else, you know, are you going to locate in a community that's going to pay you less, or are you going to locate in a community that pays you more?
The book is now free to read after being deemed open access for its public utility. If you'd like to read the book, you can find a link to it on our website, WYMT.com. For almost 40 years, the Scott Rose Foundation has served the people of Kentucky. The foundation has funded many projects for disabled children and adults. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have been spent to help families in various situations, but now the foundation is going to stop operating. Scott Rose Foundation Treasurer Lawrence Kuhl says he's thankful for everyone that has contributed through the years.
We were so gracious to have a lot of people that contributed and came from all the other areas to play in our golf tournaments, our softball tournaments over the years. I had volumes of pictures out here of a lot of these activities that we had to raise money.
Kuhl says the foundation decided to stop operating for many reasons, such as many board members not living in the area. He says the board decided its last project was putting a playground and musical park that is handicap accessible. With the Corbin City Pool being back open, there is now a local place for swim groups to practice. The swim group, the Piranhas, raised $80,000 to buy a dome to go over the pool in the colder months. Paul Dole, whose community partnership sponsors multiple swim groups, says it's been difficult having to borrow other communities' pools.
We look forward to having a lot of kids being able now to really practice, because it's always been hit and miss. We've had to borrow a pool down in Williamsburg and around, sometimes couldn't swim all the time. And it's important that they get consistency in being able to practice.
The summer leg swim group practiced at the Corbin City Pool for the first time Monday morning. It is a time of celebration in Whitley County after this year's team won the school's first baseball state championship. But for one colonel, there's just as much to celebrate off the field. WYMT's Jack Dimler explains.
The sound of excitement after making history and winning the state championship.
Anytime that you get to do something for the first time that's never been done before, it's great. I mean, you can see that through the community and how many people supported us.
But for third baseman RJ Osborne, history was not just made on the field.
They called me at about 7:30 in the morning, so I didn't really know what was going on. I just woke up, and I was just real excited.
RJ was appointed to be the third student in history to be a non-voting member of the Kentucky State Board of Education, something his mom, who also happens to be his principal, believes is a great opportunity.
Just, as a principal, Frankfort can seem a long way away, but I think it's very important to know that even in southeastern Kentucky, our students need to be engaged in their government because it does affect their everyday lives.
From state champ to state board.
This is just the start of RJ Osborne and the many opportunities that he's going to provide through his hard work, his dedication, and just the type of person he is.
RJ is making his name known and his voice heard. In Whitley County, Jack Demler, WYMT Mountain News.
Osborne will serve 1 year on the board, with his term starting on July 1st.
.639 here on this foggy Tuesday morning. A little bit of fog still over downtown Hazard from Triangle Park. 52 here in town. So again, the fog and the little bit of cloud cover we're seeing maybe impacting us just a little bit. Temperatures out there 40s and 50s. So grab a jacket on the way out the door. Grab a long sleeve shirt. You'll be able to get rid of it later today. But we are in the 40s right now in Clintwood, Wise, over toward Irvin and down toward Middlesboro there in the crater. And then you see low 50s out there across a bunch of the area, 55 in Harlan. And that, Monticello, 55 in Monticello. I was looking for that. I was like, there's another 55 out there somewhere. But yeah, it's a chilly start to the day. Out the door forecast, you're going to see a mix of sun and clouds. We're going to see maybe a stray chance for a passing shower this afternoon. I think most of us stay dry, but I can't completely rule it out. And I do think there's a better chance tonight, especially in those northern counties. Temperatures top out in the mid to upper 70s a little bit later today. Keaton?
It's a sweatshirt type of morning, though. Thanks, Brennan. And thank you for joining us. The time is 6:40. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. As we get closer to the official start of the summer season, health experts continue to preach the importance of staying safe while in the sun. That's on the way next.